How doing Pilates raised my spiritual frequency and consciousness. This is my love letter to Pilates. I started Pilates in April of 2023, so in about another month and some change, it'll be my 1-year anniversary of the practice. I see Pilates as a practice. It has been truly a transformative experience, and not in the ways you may think. Not because it changed the look of my body, although it did, but because it truly changed how I feel about myself within it. My name is Aaliyah. I'm a spiritual coach and spiritual astrologer, and for my services you can visit me at guidetotappingin.org. In this video we're discussing the spiritual benefits of Pilates. Before I started Pilates, I was going through an insecure period that was bearing on 3 years. By insecure, I mean I didn't like my body. I wasn't comfortable in it anymore. Prior to this 3 years, I really loved my body. I didn't even think much about my body because I thought I liked it so much. I didn't have to give thoughts about it much mental space. However, in 2020, something changed. I left my job and spent more time at home. I was in love and spending day in and day out with my partner, eating actual food for the first time consistently for all 3 meals every day. You see, prior to 2020, I thought I was too busy to care for myself. I didn't eat much. I made it through my day with a bag of chips and a bowl of cereal a lot of the time, and I thought that meant that I was full. I was always told how cute my size was. You're so small. For the record, I still get told that to this day. But then 2020 happened. I left this job and the constant attention it gave me on a daily basis and ended up gaining weight for the first time in my life. I wasn't overweight, but it was a noticeable gain in my body, and for someone who thought they didn't pay much attention to their body, I found that I had attached a lot of self-image and confidence to external places. I realized I had somehow correlated how I felt about my body and self to what other people felt about my body. I thought I was confident. It was very confusing. When did this happen? Turns out it had been a long process. The confidence I thought I had was a farce. I felt cute because other people started calling me that. I felt beautiful because some people had told me I was. I liked my body because other people told me I should. And as real as it felt, it wasn't. Because real confidence is when you love who you are because you know who you are and you love what you know. But I didn't know myself the way I thought I did at the time. I knew who I was, sure, but I didn't truly love myself, not in a real way at least. I liked the image of my body, but I didn't know it. I didn't even feel it. Some of you might be able to relate to running into and bumping into the edges of tables or walls. Clumsiness and movement can actually be an indication that you aren't present in your body. And that was me. Not eating, so not nourishing, and running my body into the wall without a thought or feeling attached to it. Who was the girl in the body? I knew who the girl was, I always did. I've traveled to the depths of my being with no fear since I was a young girl. It's my nature. But what was the importance of this body? How could I find the body important when the soul is ultimate? What does the body matter? And how could I connect it to a way that honors my spirit? I pondered all of this lightly while I slowly crept further and further down a self-loathing cycle. I had lost my appreciation for my body on even the aesthetic level. I love my body on a superficial surface level. The kind of elusive love that relies on external praise, not internal reverence. And so any change in the body would therefore remove the fallacy of any kind of appreciation, because it was fickle anyway. So when I gained weight, it was very confusing. What is this new feeling? Had I always felt this way and didn't know it? Who am I now? And how do I love this new body and the person in it? The dreams became more vivid. My spirit team started speaking to me. My confidence was dropping, and one night, I had a dream, or rather a nightmare. It was one of the most vivid ones I'd ever experienced. I looked in a mirror, and to my terror, My breasts were all taped up and scratched and scraped. In the nightmare, I found out I had breast cancer. I awoke in sheer terror, and I started to do what I always did at that time, which was to look up what the dream meant. Through research, I found that the nightmare was an indication of my lack of confidence, and perhaps a warning that if I didn't get it together, I'd have health problems that stemmed energetically from low confidence and lack of love and appreciation for my body. It would be years before that confidence came back fully, but I started to work on growing my consciousness to confidence. I began to steer myself in the right direction. I discovered affirmation videos and started to script even more. I even worked out once in a blue moon and lost some of the new weight. But something was still missing. The true confidence had not come back fully. I was still confused and perplexed. What was happening to me? It would be another year or two before I realized the true meaning of confidence was loving who you were as a person and as a soul, and then disciplining yourself to do things for yourself out of love for yourself, not hate. It was a light bulb moment. I spent so long just laying around, wanting to exercise, wanting to do better by my body, and not moving. Just sitting and loathing, and I didn't use love for myself as a motivator. I was trying to use hate to get myself up and forward, but we do not work that way as spirits. Inspired action that leads us to the path of our own individual fulfillment can only be done when it blooms out of love for ourselves. I love myself, therefore I deserve to do the loving things for myself. The most loving thing I can do for myself, despite how I feel, is dedicate time each day or night to moving my body in some way, shape, or form. Because I love myself, or at least I want to, I can and will do this because my consciousness, my energy started to raise. So why Pilates? I first started doing a lot of research on how to increase self-love as a woman. One that constantly came up was dance. The dancing itself, although joy-inducing, wasn't the real essence of the recommendation. It was the stretching, the way it grounds us by cultivating total presence. As women, we are the divine physical embodiment of femininity. And what is femininity? It is water, it is earth, it is fire, and it is all of the elements in physical form and expression. It is water in its essence because of the moisture secreted during sensual pleasures. In this case, the water represents pleasure and creativity. The waters of a woman take the physical male to such heights of pleasure that it can produce another living, breathing being in this world. This new baby is then enveloped in the waters of the mother. This water then protects, and upon the unleashing of this water, new life is created. The woman is transformed into the mother, the man into the father. Everyone is elevated. So when women move like water, it is very sensual, and it is very grounding, and yet elevating. It is an expression of the divine ways we can reach high and pull something out of ourselves to transform our world. Woman is earth. The earth is a mother. It nurtures and provides. Everything needed comes from the earth, as everything needed for the earth can come from a woman.
Music licensing.
New life, water, the egg, fertility, the energy. To connect to the earth as a woman is to ground oneself. To remind oneself that something of ourselves can create something here. Woman is fire. Woman's sensuality can ignite passion, war, creativity. The inspiration of the muse is the embodiment of the feminine energy, the embodiment of the allure of the flame. You can't look away, but it burns when you touch it. It can hurt and it can burn it all down, forcing a transformation within the structure. To connect to life or fire as a woman is to relinquish those fears and come out of the flames anew. It is to live in confidence and magnetize everyone you meet with your passion and love for yourself. It is to transform whoever and whatever comes into contact with you. Woman is air. we flow. To connect to air as a woman is to remind yourself of your necessity, to move your body in all the ways that air bends through structures and humans, to continue to be despite. Stretching did all of this. It reminded me of my power as a woman. It stopped being something I had to tell myself, and it became a clear fact in my consciousness, a belief. I am confident. I am strong. I am capable. I have strong willpower. I can do this. I do love myself. And so it is. And so, as Spirit often does in my life and yours, I was shown things to get me moving. I ran into a video on YouTube about forming habits and how dedicating yourself to something for just 20-something days can really change your life and give you the confidence in yourself to achieve your goals. So I started. One day, I decided to try Pilates because I had tried yoga in the past and found it to be too static. I wanted more movement. And it was just like you'd imagine it is when you really are doing something you're aligned to do. It felt right. I was so happy and so calm and so grounded and relieved. I felt so much appreciation for my body, my health. I said affirmations in my head as I was exercising, and it was just a magical experience. I was actually excited to do it again. Even if I was tired, I returned to practice every day. I started off doing it in the mornings, but when I got a new job, I told myself I wasn't going to let a new work schedule change what I was doing for myself. So I dedicated and changed the time to a time in the evening, and it made my nighttime routine more relaxing before bed. I started realizing something. I was beginning to love my body. Not simply because my body was changing. It was like I ceased caring about the look of it and just was happy with the way I felt in it. I loved how I felt in my body. I felt capable. I was doing something out of love for myself, with the intent of love, and I felt strong and flexible and feminine and grounded. I found something that put me deeply in my body, grounded me completely, reminding me of my place in this world and how deserving I am to be here, how capable I am to achieve here, to exist here. It transformed my life. Even in other areas of my life, I found blockages dissolving. Like the wiping of a windshield on a rainy day, I could finally see clearly myself doing what I love to do. My other goals seemed more attainable as I grew in confidence in my own capabilities. I am doing something for myself. Therefore, I believe I can do anything for myself, and I can do it from a real place of love for myself. Doing because I know I'm deserving of the fruit of the labor, not because of how I look. I had finally answered the questions I had asked what seemed like so many years prior. Now, what are the actual health benefits of consistent Pilates practice? Some include strengthening of bones, improved balance, posture, immunity, cognitive function, and energy levels, as well as a decrease in negative thinking and enhanced body awareness. I'm sure by now we've all heard of the mind-body connection. Wellness is the overall health of mind, body, and spirit. Starting a practice like Pilates, or any stretching exercise that will require concentration of your mind and awareness of your body, is going to increase your spiritual frequency as well. By elevating your consciousness through awareness of self, your frequency is elevated. This leads to a happier human, and if everyone did it, it would be a happier society. So it doesn't have to be Pilates as a practice in your own life, but let this video be your sign to explore an expression of movement that you can be intrinsically motivated to return to each day, as it can increase your self-love and bring you closer to the fulfillment of your goals through increased confidence and felt capability. Affirmations to strengthen willpower and self-love. Repeat after me. I am capable. I am confident. I love myself. I put mind over matter. I am focused. I am strong. I have strong will. I am determined. I am flexible. I am healthy. I eat nutritious foods. I move my body daily. I am divine vitality. So be it, and so it is.